When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
The Oregon Ducks obliterated Rutgers 56-10. But what does it really mean? We'll try and figure out that and more here on the Ducks Confidential podcast. I am Fentress of the Oregonian and OregonLive, and he is George Wrighster of the CW and the Unafraid Show. George, what's the haps? How was your weekend, bro?
Man, it was great, man. It was all sorts of fun. Got a chance to watch a lot of college football. It's always good when the Ducks win. Hey, the Beavers got to win too, baby.
Yeah.
Go Beavers. Hey, it does not matter the opponent. A win is a win. And I just thought about it. I was like, that just shows what the rivalry between Oregon and Oregon State really is, when like you're actually happy that Oregon State got a win, but nobody's crying that Washington lost to Michigan. They're like, well, he dies. He dies.
Hilarious. All right, let's get to the read here real quick. Today's episode of the Ducks Confidential podcast is brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. All right, real quick before we get into it, I got some new Wrighster cards in. Remember I had that 2007 tops or whatever it is? And then I got in Leaf Rookie and Stars Rookie. Look at Wrighster. Look in action.
I think that's my favorite card.
That's the best photo of all the cards I've seen in you so far. That's a great picture. And we're going to get to one that I don't think is a good photo. This is a good one too. This is your upper deck.
Yep.
Rookie still in the Ducks uni. Look at you. Look like you looking for a backer to run over or something. He's just about to take it on. Now this one, and this is a shame because this is the Bowman Chrome rookie. Chrome, we all know in the card world, Chrome is one of the kings of the card world. And here's your rookie card. And I don't know.
I hate that one.
Are you wing on PAT? Like,
yes,
what's going on here?
Are you in number 48?
And 48.
So you might wonder why I'm in 48. Because at that point in time in 2003, you could not wear single digit numbers, and tight ends had to either wear 40 numbers or 80 numbers. All the 80 numbers were taken at the time because we hadn't made cuts and all of that. So, and you couldn't wear single digits, teens, none of it. So, and wide receivers couldn't wear it either. They didn't change that rule till a couple years later. And so I was in 48 for a minute, and there's only one card that I have that's worse than that. But I do on my, so I have a jersey, my rookie jersey, game worn jerseys hanging on my wall here. And it has all of my cards, all of my rookie cards surrounding it. And I even have one with Justin Peele up there.
Nice. See, so I have saved in my eBay. I have this version in the refractor.
Yeah.
The red refractor, and I think there's a black refractor, and there's an X-fractor.
Ooh.
And I was going to get the whole, like, try and get the rainbow, but I can't get past the photo. Like, I want to go back and find the photo editor and be like, come on, y'all was just lazy that day. There's no way he didn't do anything else that day that you could have got a good photo.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. Well, I'm up. I'm up.
So before we get started, Aaron.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of people, Ducks fans, hitting me up.
Uh-huh.
They got questions.
About what?
They got questions about the Miami Hurricanes.
What about them?
What do you mean, what about them? They just lost to Louisville.
Okay, we were going to get to the Round the Nation later, and I figured you'd bring up Miami. Let's not start with Miami.
This is up front. You are a Miami fan. And just like you check on me, George, you're all right after the Indiana game. Are you okay, Aaron Fentress, after your Miami Hurricanes, who you all of a sudden were like, yeah, their playoff window is open. How are you feeling about them now?
Okay, wait. So early in the season, we talked about this, and I said, even as a Miami fan, I'm not going to sit here and say that their national title window is open. I do think that they're a playoff caliber team, but I in no way thought they were going to go 12-0. I had a bad feeling about that game because Louisville is not a bad football team at all. They're unranked, but they were 4-1. And I just watched Carson Beck throw 4 interceptions.
And Braun wins big games. Jeff Braun, Louisville's coach, and this was a Mario Cristobal special. He'll give you one game a year versus an unranked team, and you're like, what?
But that was a good unranked team, though. They're ranked. They're top 30. They're at least top 30. Did they move up? Are they ranked now?
They're 19th now, I think.
They're 19th now. Yeah, so they lost to the number 19 team. So take that. Anyway, so no, I was not happy, obviously, because I want to see them go undefeated. But I told you I didn't think they would. Just like you said about Oregon, you didn't think they'd go undefeated, and they lost to Indiana. I think they can't mess around. They can't go 10-2. Last year they went 10-2, right? And they didn't get in. Yeah, because they lost to Syracuse though. So it is what it is. But I wasn't shocked. Let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't shocked either. I was just giving.
Now, why are you blaming Mario?
Because it happens every year. It's not.
Okay, it's going to happen every year unless you go undefeated.
No,
it happens to everybody.
No. Had he lost to Notre Dame, that wouldn't be a thing. But it's just the fact that it just the optics are. I think Mario's a good coach. So let's not get that twisted. But he will give you a weird loss every single year where you're just like, that was weird.
Like Arizona State 2019, like that. Stanford 2021.
Exactly. Where you're just scratching your head. You're like, how did that happen? Now, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's that was the thing that made the James Franklin loss to UCLA so bad, is that he didn't lose them games. He only lost to teams with single digits in front of him.
Right. All right. Fair. All right. Well, I'm glad you got that in. All right. These 3 words. I'll start. What a joke. So I'm going to dive into this real quick. I'm going to dive. Not Oregon.
Okay.
I'm not. Listen, I have nothing. There's zero negative to say about Oregon, but there's plenty to say about Rutgers, which to me dilutes the entire situation with Oregon winning the way they did. So damn well, there's a huge difference between the winning team being really, really good and the losing team just being horrible. Rutgers was awful. Their defense was worse than I thought it was going to be. The pass defense, there was no pressure at all. Dante, that double reverse flea flicker they ran, no one got remote penetration on that. They could have done a quadruple reverse before Dante threw the ball. The running lanes, there were times when the backs got the ball, and you when you're running back, you develop timing for hitting the hole and what you expect to see up front. Where they got to the line of scrimmage, and the line of scrimmage had moved 3 or 4 yards downfield, and they almost kind of pitter-patter, wait, what's happening? Because it wasn't normal football. And then they found a big giant hole and just ran through it like Davison did a couple of times. So my point here is that I don't believe that this game told us anything new about Oregon at all. Did they fix and get better from Indiana? I don't know, because they did this stuff to bad teams already in the first part of the season, and Rutgers offered zero in the way of actual competition. So, your turn.
Okay. Now, I 100% understand how that could be your perspective. My 3 words were, I'm glad.
Wait, it's not a word, but go ahead.
Well,
it's close enough.
And the reason why is because last week I said that I felt like you would know exactly who this team is, or know things about this team based upon the first half of this game.
Yep.
Not the final score, but the first half of the game. And it was because I believed that Rutgers defense, particularly their pass defense, was not good. However, though, they have had some success. They were up 13-10 on Washington at halftime the week before, and they should have been up bigger. Minnesota was 31-28. Iowa was 38-28. Like, they had been putting up resistance on offense. Now, on defense, they had been putting it like there's clear problems in the pass defense, but they have been able to score on people. So you couldn't just ignore. And so I was like, yo, if Oregon allows them to score points in the first half, or if they're not able to score, then you're going to know that this is a 3-loss team. A 3-loss team. Right. Now I feel solidified that this is not a 3-loss team, that this is at worst 10-2. I still believe 11-1. So that was my thinking around the game. It was the defense that I was impressed with, because they took Rutgers, whose quarterback was throwing for over 300 yards a game, and just put him in an absolute headlock. He was 8 for 25. We're talking Oregon State might have had more success throwing the football. 8 for 25 for 79 yards. I told you that they were going to get multiple interceptions. I told you that.
Yep.
And they were absolutely dominant in the pass game. Now, I thought that would happen, but then I thought Rutgers would put up a little bit of resistance in the run game, but they literally just got mowed over. I was hoping that we were going to see a scenario where somebody got like 17 carries. But you couldn't even do it. Like, Jordan Davis got 100 yards on three carries. Like, he couldn't even get to the point where, like, we couldn't even get to we averaged 11.5 yards a carry, including 2 team sacks. Including 2 team tackles for loss. Like, what are we talking about here? Like 415 yards rushing at 11 yards a carry. You're averaging over a first down, so you can't even get to.
You can't even get a rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just.
You can't get a rhythm going. It's like,
I was actually like, can y'all please stop somebody so we can get a drive going?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, can we please see a drive?
100%. All right.
And I don't. But the thing is, Aaron, I don't even blame that on Rutgers. I blame that on Oregon. Oregon just came in this game and was like, no. If it weren't for 2 turnovers, I'm not even sure if Rutgers even scores. On the first drive, Gary Bryant fumbles, and they don't even get a first down and kick a field goal. And then the next time, DeCorian muffs a punt, and the third stringers are in, and they give up a touchdown. I'm not sure if they scored without the touchdowns, Aaron. Without the turnovers.
Without the turnovers, yeah. All right, so let's move on to our grades. I'm A's across the board. I will 100% give you the defense and their performance, because Rutgers had put up some numbers. Their passing game was pretty formidable. 79 yards for a guy who was averaging 297 is insane. Oregon State was averaging 297, and they held them to 68. But I think this was a better overall performance in that area. After the Bryant fumble, they immediately went downfield against Finney, right? Yeah. And he just locked that up. Like, no. And then, no, not happening here. And 3 plays, 3 passes and field goal. And I was thinking at the time, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't a good look for them, because they didn't gain a single yard after that turnover. So I give you everything. The defense shut them down, period. No doubt about it. Just offensively, look, you can't do any better than what they did. 750 yards. And 750 yards with you not even trying for the last 20 minutes. Not trying hard, I should say.
Yes.
But still, like the first play of the game, or the first touchdown of the game, Benson goes in motion, corner goes with him, right? So they're in man clearly. There's an edge guy and a backer inside of him. And then you got Sadiq and the fullback Davison, and the tackle pulls. So when Davison, the fullback leading for Whittington, gets out there, there's no one to block.
Yeah.
Because there weren't enough defenders. So Davidson doesn't touch anyone until the safety downfield, and then all Noah had to do was navigate that. So that's just bad defense. Like that's just, we're not aligned properly.
Correct.
And then even when they maybe were aligned properly, dudes just got completely bulldozed. It was almost like Thomas Tyner rushed for like 600 yards in high school one game, something like that.
Yeah.
If you watch the film,
I did hear that.
Have you ever seen the film? Like Aloha's offensive line just literally moved the entire team's defense 10 yards downfield. And so before Tyner even got to his lineman, he'd gained like 8 yards. And then he just fight. So it was almost like that, where it's like, okay, Tyner, great. You got 600 yards, but look who you got against. That's how I felt in this game, where it's like, come on, you got to have some resistance at this level. So I still give him an A, but I just don't feel like I said before, that this showed me that the offense is back. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because part of it is converting on third downs and all of that stuff. So how many third downs? Oregon had 11 third downs. No, they went. Well, all the third downs came toward the end of the game.
Toward the end,
they were 8 for 11 on third down.
See, that's just insane.
8 for 11. Now, yeah, it was.
The corner post was nice.
Yeah, it was routes on air.
Exactly. It was like 7-on-7, dude.
I'll give him 7-on-7. But Dante did make some throws, boy.
He did.
Like the
corner posted the corner. That was gorgeous.
Yes.
A little behind him, but nice throw.
Yeah. And but also in that situation, you tell the quarterback, don't miss the layup.
Right.
Like it would be better for him to catch the ball and get tackled than to overthrow him, trying to make a perfect throw. So, and Sadiq made 2 sick catches on 2 crazy throws. I know he's a little banged up right now, so hopefully he can, heal up. He could have finished the game, but there was no reason to.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Any hidden gems? Mine is just no injuries, right? No one got seriously hurt that I remember.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not missing anything.
Hey, Brock Thomas.
What about him?
He played at quarterback. Hidden gem. Okay, hidden gem. I changed my hidden gem to Brock Thomas. Or
he looked pretty sharp.
Yeah. Or you could say Wilson, who people have been calling for to get some time at tackle. He got some time at tackle and he looked good, but.
All right. So speaking of Brock, what's going on at backup quarterback? So Novosad is still the backup, but they're not playing him unless they have to, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't played since the
Montana State game.
Yeah. Since the Montana State game. Yep. We've seen Luke Moga and now we've seen Brock Thomas.
And he had the back thing, right?
Yes. So they may be trying to, I believe, now, mind you, a lot of times I come on this program and I say things from a place of information and all of this stuff. And it's not just educated guesses.
Right.
This, I'm being clear, is an educated guess. So everybody don't go and be like, George said, so I think that this is just what my intuition tells me.
Right.
Is that from knowing college football, knowing how these things work, is that Austin Novosad is in, like, he's got some sort of injury that requires management. And they believe that they have a good chance to get him a medical red shirt, which would give him an additional year of eligibility. Right. And so regardless of whether that's for the Ducks or whether that's for just him personally, if they can not play him, I believe that that's what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. I mean, that makes sense. If you don't have to use him.
Yeah, because there's no other reason why he would be traveling and dressing and not playing.
Right. But say if they're at Iowa 17-17 in the third quarter, Dante goes down, Austin's in.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair. Now, if
the last drive of the game and we were up by 10 points at Iowa, you might see Moga.
Right. Okay. Okay. So let's say medical red shirts. We get extra year because he and Dante are both redshirt sophomores.
Yes.
So then he would get that year back. So he'd have an extra year behind Dante. And if Dante were to go pro, that would give Austin 2. But if Dante comes back, that would still give Austin 1 behind after Dante left if he chose to stay.
Correct.
Okay. We'll see what happens there. All right. Moving on. What does all this mean? Now, you went to the Miami thing already. Miami tumbled. Do you see that? They went from 2 to like 9 or something.
I try to tell you is if you put a different conference patch logo on them, they only fall 3 spots. And everybody is praising Louisville and how great they are. But Ole Miss fell like 5 spots, and they lost to Georgia. No, they fell 3 spots, Aaron. It wasn't 4? They didn't fall 8? Yeah. That's what you call it. Yeah, they fell from 5 to 8. 4? Oh, I thought they were 4. Okay, my bad. No, Texas A&M was 4, which is by far the most overrated team in college football right now, FYI. I've been thinking the same thing. Like they're 7-0, but it seems like kind of a soft 7-0. Who have they beaten? Auburn, Florida, Arkansas, Mississippi State. They beat Notre Dame by 1. Yeah. But outside of Notre Dame, which was a 1-point win, when that should have been overturned when the last play they played a game, because they had 2 dudes just absolutely get mugged. It was bad. But UTSA, Utah State, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, and Arkansas. Aaron, I have a question for you. Yeah. How many teams do you think that out of their 7 wins that they have played, do you think have a winning record? Without looking? Yep. 1. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. That's it. And Auburn, Mississippi State, and Florida, I think, are combined for like 1 SEC win. They're still 7-0, man. Now they got LSU. 7-0. And they only have LSU and Texas, really. Oh, Missouri. They got Missouri at Missouri. Missouri ain't, they might not be good either. I'm just saying, it's still a tough game. It's at the 15th ranker as at Missouri. Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, who's 3-4 right now. They're bad. UMass, Alabama, and Auburn. That's it. They played a team with, I think, one team with a winning record too as well. Because I'm not even going to count Central Arkansas. So do you think Georgia and Alabama solidified themselves as serious threats? Yes. But the issue is, I think Alabama is better than Georgia right now. Alabama beat Georgia, right? Yes. Yeah. But Georgia's first half defense is buns, bro. It is absolutely cheeks. Aaron, listen to these scores that they've given up. 41 and then 24 to Alabama, but there's nothing wrong with that. 14 to Kentucky. Kentucky's offense is trash. 10 to Auburn. Auburn's offense is trash. And then they gave up 35 to Ole Miss. And Ole Miss choked the game away at the end. Missed open wide receivers. And dude, this Georgia first half defense is a problem. But them in the second half, they are hell on wheels, buddy. All right, 2 interesting games that, Oregon fans probably were paying attention to. USC lost by 10 to Notre Dame, which not surprising. Huh? Really? You don't think Oregon fans care about that? No, I was joking. Of course they lost to USC because Lincoln Riley is soft as grandma's love. Go ahead. I want to bring this up because soft as grandma's what? What'd you say? Soft as grandma's love. Oh, okay. Because Lincoln Riley has been trying to get out of the Notre Dame game. Right. Because he's like, our conference is so tough. Yeah. Then this is your biggest rival. This is the most storied rivalry in college football, period. And you want to get out of it because the game might be a little bit tough, but aren't you USC? 11 national championships, 37,000 Heismans, blue blood in college football, Oregon's big brother and everything. And you're ducking the smoke from your biggest rival? That's why you lost. You can't go to South Bend and win if you have
you don't even want to play the game.
Exactly.
Right. And you tell your team you don't want to play the game.
Yes.
And you want to kill a tradition because you're scared to play the game.
Teams embody their head coach. When your head coach is kind of a front runner, that's what your team is going to be.
Right.
And it's not Lincoln Riley's a great offensive mind. He is smart. Like, you can't say the man's a terrible head coach or nothing like that. But everybody's got a weakness, and this is his. And if he can fix that part of him, where it's like, listen, I don't care who we play, when we play, stop trying to strategize. Aaron, I promise you, he's the kind of guy that would lose a game on purpose for like seeding purposes.
You're not a fan, I can tell.
No, I like him. I just don't like that.
Right. I got you.
Do you believe that if he thought that, like, you know how people get to talking in the NBA and the NFL about seeding and playoff matchups and all that kind of stuff? And some teams try that. And whenever they try it, they lose. Do you believe that Lincoln Riley would most likely, if he thought that he could get a better matchup, potentially throw a game?
I can't say I follow the guy closely enough to make that determination, but it sounds like you definitely believe it.
I do believe that.
And
I like the way you phrased that. That was real. That was smart. That was smart,
like that?
Guy, right there.
You like that? I think I know everything, but the things I don't know, I'm not going to pretend I know. Anyway, all right, moving on to the Huskies. Woo! All that crying about not being ranked. I told several people, I'm like, y'all need to chill. Don't just keep winning. It doesn't matter if you're ranked right now. Just keep winning. And they go to Michigan and lose 24-7. And guess what? They ain't ranked this week either. And not only that, but their boy, Damon Williams, had 209 yards and 3 picks after lighting up Rutgers for 550 total yards or something like that.
And they were like, the best quarterback in the country.
Nobody Heisman front runner. Blah, blah, blah.
Just win your games and everything will take care of itself.
Yeah. And I trust that the team and the coaches probably didn't freak out like fans were in the media. No. But still, the point is, don't worry about rankings.
Yes. And I have Washington 14th in my rankings.
You did?
14th.
What do you have now?
I haven't finished them yet, but in my tentatives, they are number 26.
Ooh, dropping them 12 spots. Damn.
Dude, they got roughed up. I'm not going to lie.
23 carries for 40 yards. Ouch.
Yes, they are having trouble running like everybody is saying Jonah Coleman and Adam Muhammad are bad. And I'm like, they're not bad. They're really good backs. So guess what the problem is? The offensive line. So so Washington lost. They look bad. I do still think that USC is a good football team, by the way, though, a top 25 team. And the fact that they're ranked, they got Michigan ranked over them is crazy to me. They just beat Michigan by 3 scores a week ago.
So USC and Washington and at Iowa are the 3 toughest games. None of those teams have really looked impressive. They've had moments, but then again, you got to consider the competition in those moments. Although Iowa hung tough with Indiana, right? Yeah. At this point, do you feel like that's a cruise? Like the Ducks should cruise through those 3, or do you think there's going to be a fourth quarter where they're either down or it's a 1 possession game the other way?
I think that there is a world where there's a 1 possession game in the fourth quarter. Probably USC or Washington. But
you're not buying Iowa at all, are you? Because they can't score.
Yeah, I think that Oregon is going to have because Iowa can't throw the football.
Right.
So Iowa's great at running the football, The issue is they can't really throw the football. So if you can't really throw the football against Oregon, like, yes, the linebackers need to do better at stoning running backs and all of that stuff. But when you can drop a safety down into the box, or you can say, hey, yo, Finney and whoever is on this other side, yo. Dude, in their Penn State game, Gronowski threw for 68 yards. They beat Penn State 25-26.
And they brought him in to upgrade the passing game, and it hasn't changed.
He has thrown, Aaron, in 7 games, he's thrown for 811 yards.
How is that possible?
He has 3 games under 100 yards and no 200-yard passing games. He's got 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season. He has not thrown a touchdown since September 13th against Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Against UMass. I'll just say UMass, so I don't have to say Massachusetts.
I've been to Massachusetts.
So Aaron, I will present to you, since you can always find different things. Do you believe that you can beat the Ducks throwing for under? So if Iowa is used to throwing for about barely over 100 yards a game, how many yards do you think that they're going to throw for against Oregon?
I think they're going to have to throw a lot, so I think they clear 150 in that game. Just because they have to throw. Although Rutgers had to throw and Oregon State had to throw. But there's always, I always like to account for that fluke play, right? That quick slant, someone slips and falls and dude runs for 50. You got to account for those.
When has that happened?
I don't know. It happens like once every 15 times.
No, I'm saying, when has that happened to that Oregon team this year?
Well, Montana State had a couple of decent plays in the passing game, didn't they?
Yeah, true. Somebody did fall.
Northwestern had the long run.
Yes, they did bust coverage.
Northwestern had the long run.
In the very end of the game. Yep, very end of the game.
Right here, baby.
So,
all right.
So I guess it is a non-zero
I
chance.
said 1 out of 15 times it could happen. It's something, Anyway. So, but I get your point. So, yeah, I mean, Oregon is going to clear 30 in that game. Iowa has to throw for 250 to have a chance to compete. They're not going to do it. They're going to try, which means they're going to throw a bunch of picks and give up a bunch of sacks, and it's going to get even uglier. So I'm with you. I'm off that game being even scary at this point. I had that game as being a threat. I think because I wanted it to be, because I just want to see good football. Speaking of bad football, oh my God, we come off Rutgers for this. Wisconsin is a 34-point dog, dude. Iowa shut them out 37-0 2 weeks ago. They just got shut out 34-0 by Oregon State. They lost to Michigan 24-10, lost to Maryland 27-10, lost to Bama, which is fine, 38-14. So, dude, that's 10, 20, that's 34 points in their last 5 games. And they're coming to Autzen.
That's less than 7 points a game.
It's exactly 7 points. No, yeah, 6.99. You're right. Dude, that's even against Miami of Ohio, they only put up 17. Oh, but they dominated Middle Tennessee 42-10 though.
Yeah, but they still had their quarterback at that point in time. They have been shuffling around quarterbacks. They started a walk-on last week.
And this is parent weekend. I mean, I'm going anyway because I got to cover it, but
yeah. I have not seen a conference game that had this sort of like if you go on ESPN, you know how they give a percentage chance to win.
Yeah. What's this one?
It's normally like even in like a big dog thing, it's usually like it'll be like the highest I've seen is like 8 for conference games now.
Right.
We're talking like 80%. 85%, but it's usually even for the Oregon Rutgers game, I think it was only like 75% or 80%. It's 97.2.
I'm going to use that in my preview later in the week, in my key stat of the game. ESPN's win probability rate. Dude, that's embarrassing. And this is a storied program. Like Wisconsin's a legit Big Ten.
Well,
it's not a blue blood necessarily, but it's an all-time, good, powerful program.
If Luke Fickell is going to get fired, the answer is no. He's not going to be fired. The school just put out a press release and was basically like, he's our guy. We believe in him. We're just going to pour more resources into the program because we feel like he has been at a handicap in terms of roster.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's a prudent decision for a lot of these schools, because firing a head coach, if you hire a new one, you're just going to end up right back in the same situation if you don't fix the internal problems. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Franklin should have been fired, but Franklin, they had talent, right? Yeah. Wisconsin, does Wisconsin have guys?
They do not have the requisite talent. I mean, the issue is that they do have talent, but they don't have. They're already at a talent deficit,
right,
amongst the top teams. But then you add in the fact that they don't have a quarterback, and their quarterbacks keep getting hurt. They're down to playing walk-ons. That makes whatever talent that you do have impossible to work with.
Okay. All right. My threat level is 0. And I had 51-17 down. But that was just because if you've noticed in my scores, I tend to add on a little bit for the team getting blown out, just because of that fluke touchdown that can happen here and there. Clearly, there was a fluke touchdown, not a fluke touchdown, but there was a touchdown at the end of the last game, but that only made it 10, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty fluke touchdown. Yeah, because you had both of their scores came off
turnovers.
Yeah, and so that would have been my ugly for the game. Would have been 2 turnovers, and apparently we can't kick field goals again. But that is a positive sign. The fact that we can't kick field goals is a positive sign.
Because they're going to go for it.
No, that's not why.
No. Okay.
Every time Oregon has had a legit, like when both times they went to the national championship, we couldn't kick field goals. Like we have been in awful, like Alabama awful level.
Don't be dissing Aiden Schneider. Hold on a second. Aiden Schneider was good. Don't be dissing my Grant boy. He was money that year, wasn't he? I'm looking him up. 2014, Aiden Schneider, 11 for 12.
In what year?
2014. He was 11 for 12. They only kicked 12 field goals.
Exactly, because we didn't trust him. He
was 11 for 12.
I bet, and with a long of how far?
He was a true freshman. Hold on. Let me see.
Long of like 38 yards, probably, or 40 or 42 max. They were all chip shots.
I can't find the long here. Anyway, he went to Grant, so he's up. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have not had a good history of kicking field goals when we've had good football teams. So I'll take it, whatever it is.
Okay. So I'm coming down from 17 to, I'm going to say something crazy like 9. Field goal and a touchdown, but they're going to go for 2. Not kidding. Anyway, I'm at 51-9. Could they get 60? I know they could, but will they even consider trying to do that late?
I don't think so, because Wisconsin's defense at least puts up a fight on some level. Ohio State only scored 34. And Ohio State could not run the football on them. Ohio State ran for 98 yards on 28 carries. So they're going to put up a fight on defense. I'm going to give us 45.
All right.
I don't think we hit 50 in this game. No.
I'm going to come down to 47-9.
Okay.
You got 45 what?
0.
0?
0.
I know. I'm saying that like Wisconsin hasn't just been shut out twice in a row.
Yes. Yes.
0. How dare? Oh wait.
Yeah. If they score twice, people are gonna be like, "What?
What's going on? Sky's falling." You know, I'll be like, the defense is suspect.
Yeah.
All right. Defense is trash. No. All right. Anything else? I mean, this is the first 4 weeks. At least when they were playing, teams that were going to smoke, at least we were still discovering there's newness, right? We had Dante and they were new starters and there was some, but now we've sort of gotten through the weeds and had a couple big games and a big loss. And now you got Rutgers and Wisconsin. It's just like, really 2 50-point blowouts potentially. So we just got to clear this. And then we got an off week and then things kick into gear, right? We got Iowa, Minnesota, USC, UW. So we're just in a really soft part of the schedule. So it is what it is.
It happens, man. Nope.
I know.
Nope. That's it.
It's what happens when you're really good, right?
Go
All
Ducks.
right. Today's episode of the Ducks Confidential Podcast was brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. All right. We'll catch you later in the week when we preview this game, I guess.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.